everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Brittany and I'm on a mission to hit 3,000 subscribers, so make sure you click that button below. I would appreciate it. So not that long ago, I actually did a video on like how to set up your logos when you do get them back from your digitizer, right? Well, today is kind of similar, but kind of not. Basically, I have a client who reached out to me to ask for their logo to be put on a hat. The trick with the hat is that some of the font she has involved is kind of on the small side. So I need to run a couple samples to even see whether or not we can do it, because keep into consideration, when we put it on a shirt, it's one size. When we put it on a hat, it's another. So obviously we're shrinking the logo, and I'm trying to figure out exactly how to make tiny, tiny fonts. Now, granted, I do know how to do it with your 65 needle and also your, I think it's your, I'm losing my brain. It's like your 60 thread. Don't quote me on that. I do already have it. I'll link it down below. I picked it up from Amazon. It's just black and white is the ones that I do have. And then I did ask about where I can find other thread that are kind of like for your big machines, because I bought this box from Amazon thinking that it would work. This is, does it say what the thread size is? I thought it would, but maybe it doesn't. It does it? No, it just says it's 40 spools. And as you can see, they're really tiny and they're really small for my machine. I mean, granted, I haven't like given them a whirl. As you can see, they're all still kind of like wrapped up here. So I'm trying to figure out if I could still use these with my big machine, as well as maybe trying to find ones that are bigger. I know you guys said Candle Thread USA does have smaller ones, but I've checked their website and I can't find it. So unless it's hidden in a secret gem spot, let your girl know, because I would appreciate that. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead. I need to run a couple different images. I need to see if I could leave all the, you know, letters on there, if I have to maybe remove some, what I have to do. Because so far I ran one sample and I already trashed it and I didn't like the way it came out. So we're just gonna make some modifications. We gotta get approvals, things like that. So let's jump into it. So I have my sample here. We're just gonna go ahead and throw it up. I wanna go ahead and select the colors as well, which the main one will be your 40 weight. And then the next is going to be, so 6, 7, 8, my smaller thread. I also have to change my hoop. I originally was sampling this on flat surface, just because I actually don't have any hats right now that I could even sample on. The only hats that I do have are the ones the client provided me. And I don't know where she bought them, because again, she provided them. I'm pretty sure I can find them on Amazon. But I'd rather just run it on a flat surface. Even though I did make mention, I would prefer to run a sample on a hat, especially since it is going on a hat. But we got to work with what we got. So I've got that all set up. I'm going to go ahead and hoop my 5x5 Hoop Master. And if you guys are interested, I do have a coupon down below for free shipping under Designpress. So make sure you click that link if you are going to be checking them out. I would greatly appreciate it. And we're just gonna go ahead and hoop our backing on here so we can go ahead and get that sample started. So while the new logo was embroidering, which I already noticed a mess up that I did, I forgot to change the arrows to black, but that's okay. Again, this is why we run samples. I ended up finding my original, and honestly, I don't think it looks as bad as I thought it did. Now, I am gonna show you guys them side by side, and I'm going to also show it to the client, and I'm gonna have her make the overall decision. Now, I did change group, which was beneficial to the smaller thread and needle. That really made a huge difference. I kind of really don't want to clean all this up. I just want to show you, but sometimes we have people who are a little judgy. So let's just not be lazy. Okay. So here's the first one. And when I first looked at this, I really didn't like the way the city came out. Maybe you guys can see it a little bit, but like, it's not horrible. I mean, the R is not probably the best, but again, like, look at my thumb or my fingernail and look how small that font is. So as you can tell, this is pretty small, but that's what it overall looks like. See, group, I really don't like the way group came out at all. Now, like the road and the name, that came out great. Now I did go ahead and switch my, like I said, group. Now look at it. I removed the city and the state, and I changed the font thread on group, and I think that looks way better. You could definitely see the G, because the before, if you guys look, here's the G before, looks like an O, and now that looks like a good G. So just remember, when it does come to thinner or smaller, really when it comes to smaller font, you just need to remind yourself you need to change your needle as well as your thread. Like, both need to be changed. So since I do have 15 threads on my specific machine, I am fortunate enough where I can leave black and white all the time at the thinner thread as well as the thinner needle. Now granted, if I needed to change the color out, I would probably just pick that one, because again, I'm dealing with the same needle size and I'm not constantly needing to change it. Some people also might have like a 6 header. I think some also maybe said they had a 10 header, and if so, just one, just uno, just one, just change it out, unless it's really not that big of a deal for you. But I personally, when I move again, I want to take all my colors out. I really want to clean this bad boy down, and I actually want to take my smallest needles and just throw them to like the far end of my machine. So that's kind of what I'm thinking, but again, that's all with time. Right now we're just focusing on this main project. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead, correct the stitching with the yellow in between, and then I'm going to run the sample one more time with the city and the state in it, and I want to see how that comes out. So maybe it's not as bad as I'm telling myself, and I'm being a little bit critical, but it's really not that bad. Like, I think I was making it out worse than I needed to. So actually, it's not that bad. I am gonna blame myself. I was trying to be cheap and use the same backing, as you guys can see, and I didn't move it over enough, so it kind of overlapped the old one. But there it is with the city and the state at it, and group obviously correct it. As you guys can see, I kind of overlapped it, and I corrected also the yellow. It looks good. Like, it looks good. My sister actually showed up, so I'm going to show her this sample and see what she thinks, because again, us embroiderers can be a lot more critical on our work than others, but I actually think it looks really good. So we might be able to run this production. I do have about 10 hats, and she did give me, I think, 4 visors, and I've never embroidered on visors before, so that might have to be a whole separate video. And I don't even know if I'm gonna do it. So if you don't see that video, that means I didn't have enough confidence, but if you did see the video or do see the video in the future, it means I had the confidence. So let's get this order started. I believe we are having more than just font issues with this one. And I'm pretty sure someone has said to me in the comments it's going to be my bobbin. But look at this right here. You see how it's like turning white? And mostly it's just around the circle, which I'm shocked that it's not within like the smallest of fonts. But that's what the image looks like. And I'm thinking it has to do with my bobbin setting. I do still need to do a little bit more cleanup on that, but from comments, from what I'm gathering, because I've never done this before, there is this little tiny screw. You see that right there? And that screw, come down. There we go. That screw needs to be adjusted. My only issue is I can't remember if it needs to be tightened or it needs to be loosened. And why can't you guys tell me this? Because again, I've never done this. I don't even know if I have oh my god, do I even have anything small enough? What do you guys use to tighten your bobbins? Because I don't have anything. especially not here. I had this little thing, but this is a Phillips, so that does me no good. Oh, this is, hold on. No, I think this is too big. Nope, too big. Oh. I don't know what to do. I really don't. Also, on the last hat, I didn't even show you guys, but this C actually fell into like the crack of the hat and almost disappeared. So I ever so slightly like shifted it over on the machine so it didn't fall back into the crack. Now I'm just trying to clean up my little OCD threads. I won't be able to get all of them, but at least get what I can. Pay attention to the C's, right? So on this one, the C kind of fell right into the crack. So I moved it over ever so slightly, and now we have our C back. But we are getting a little bit of like mess upness here. I didn't see that until I just looked at the viewfinder. I didn't do it on here. I don't know. Do you guys ever take on a project and you're just like, you're just not happy with it? I'm really not. And I messaged her, but I'm not getting a response. Also, I almost feel like if you look at it, the logo looks crooked. It's not, because obviously we're going off the wording, but the circle makes it look crooked. And that's kind of bugging me too. I did show my dad because my mom and my sister have left at this point. My dad really likes it. Like, it looks ridiculous on me. I don't know. I don't know. That was not supposed to fall. I don't know. I feel like kind of can't continue because we can't continue to have our bobbin create our issue for us, and I don't have a screwdriver small enough. I'm gonna see if my dad has something. I doubt it, because Kyle, he has it for like computer parts, but I don't even know where that thing is at. Even if I was to leave and go try to find it. But I still don't have a solution. It's only been like 2.5 seconds since I last stopped filming. But she does have 2 hats that are pure black, so clearly we're gonna have to change the color anyways to white. And I was thinking, since bobbin is white and the logo's gonna be white, let's just run these hats until I can figure out a solution for the black one and the bobbin. At least maybe I can try to run what I can today and then have Kyle help me fix the bobbin issue until I can get back here. We need our clips. Also, I did just realize that she gave me 2 gray hats, but I'm thinking I'd rather match them with the meshing on the back, so keeping those black. So obviously we have, these are black, these are black. At least let me run the 2 that can be done now, which is white. Do you guys ever change out your bobbin colors with your thread colors? I've seen that before. I've not personally done it, never thought about it just until now, because obviously I'm not buying thread to go with every single one of my colors, but you know. Also, we need to shift over just a hair. be truthful, I wasn't gonna film this, but then I remember you guys like me as raw as I can possibly be. And I'm trying to figure out how my thread got hooped over into my 10. It's not hooped, but it got like over to my 10. It also got disconnected. And I'm struggling hard. I'm struggling hard on this one. I'm also not liking the way that it embroidered either. And I'll bring you in closer here in just a second just to show you. Because, like, I ran samples. It didn't do it on the samples. Didn't do it on my first hat. But why is it doing it on my second and third hat? So take a look at, like, the road, right? Like, why does this keep happening? This keeps happening back here. And it didn't do it on the samples. It didn't do it on my first hat. This is just excess. Ignore all that back there. I don't know why it did that back here. I mean, that's not that big of a deal to me. Also, like, what is this? That looks like thread I need to clean up. I also feel like it looks very, like, bumpy back there. Again, I'm not getting a great image, but this is what's bugging me right now. This. Why is that happening? I'm not gonna lie, I feel very defeated. I just do. I want to introduce you guys to my sister, aka my niece's technically dog. Look at her, isn't she so cute? Yes, I know. This is Sarah, and I was trying to do the math on it, but I think she's like 17 years old. Is that how old you are, Missy? Hale got her when on her 4th birthday, and Hale is now 21. Go figure out the math on that. But like, she's so cute and tiny. And she is just like the dog that wants to sit in your lap and constantly be pet. Like, I'm surprised she's not bald, because all she wants to do is this right here. This is her happy place. Right, Sarah? She wants to be nowhere else except here. And that's probably because when you give a 4-year-old a dog, she walks it around like it's a stuffed toy, and she would never let it on the ground, like ever. And I'm only throwing this in because I'm having a moment of just disappointment. Oh my God, that looks horrible. Oh, Lanta, what are we gonna do? Guys, I don't wanna finish this order. I really don't. I don't. All right, we're gonna end it here. I'm feeling defeated. I really don't like the way that this came out. So I went ahead and just changed out the black to the white, but see how you can't even see the yellow? So of course that irritated me. Right here is irritating me, like that little circle. What else is here? This is irritating me. Like there's just too much going on right now that's just not sitting well with me. I wish you guys could see half the frustration that I am currently and mentally going through right now. I have been working on this order. Actually, I filmed an entire video working on this order, and I was unhappy with the way it was coming out. I basically said to the customer, I'm like, hey, could you please confirm that you're liking the way it's coming out? Like, you know, again, we're more picky than they are. And I just hate Richardson hats. And she responds, she's like, yeah, they look great, you know, keep up the great work, whatever. And I'm like, anywho, I've run into bobbin issues. I had to order really tiny flatheads. They were supposed to be here today. They're still not here. They're on their way. I'm hoping that they'll come before I have to switch over from black thread to white, or from white to black, because obviously I can continue to run it with the bobbin issue because my bobbin is white. So I just am kind of making that work. Not ideal, not ideal, but again, my stuff's not here. I have broken, today alone I've broken 2 needles. I ruined a hat completely. I was actually trying to, what was I trying to do? I was trying to do something, I don't even remember. And like my whole bar pushed backwards. So it offlined everything. So then I was trying to realign it. Then I was getting in a Y limit error. And then I was like, what's that? What? I couldn't remember. My brain, I was having a brain fart. And it was basically saying like the logo was too big and it was putting it outside the perimeter, which then would make sense because again, it got pushed back. So then I was trying to like tug it back forward, which I was able to, which you're not supposed to be able to do that when the machine is on. Yeah. So, yeah, we have a hat. Actually, I still have the needle shoved in the hat. I don't even know if you guys can see that right there, right? Beautiful little needle. Also, I'm missing a screw on my bracket right here. I don't know where it went. This is for your hat thing. And I need to go run up to Ace Hardware to go buy a new one, but it's not that I'm being lazy, but I'm like so frustrated that I feel like if I leave, I'm just leaving. I ain't coming back. So it's for this right here. See this, right? This metal plate. It has 2 little screws right here, and one of mine is missing. And again, it could just be because I've been doing quite a few hats lately, and that might be why. I didn't even know those were screws, to be honest with you. I don't know why they're screws, but they are, and that's here nor there. So yeah, we're gonna try to hoop this hat right here, right now, and let's see what issues we continue to run through. If you guys can't tell, I am providing the most amount of negative energy. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. And I keep telling my mom that I'm removing hats from my resume because I want to conquer them. I want to be so successful at hats. I really, really do, because they're a great profit. They really are, but my hell, they are the pain of my existence. They really are. These hats do feel a little bit softer than the other ones I've been working on. So I'm trying to hope for positivity. Also, another thing you could do too is you could spray them and it softens the material. Again, this does feel softer than like this one that I was just embroidering on. Maybe it's just I'm trying to like fake it out in my head. But we have, oh my God, we have so much going on. We have our tweezers in hand. We have our lighter. I want to look for, I don't want to get up. I'm being so lazy right now. We have our scissors and we have our thread plucker. So I really don't want to be sitting this close to the machine. I also do have to just like off shift it on the center, like ever so slightly, because the C is falling into the crack and I'm not liking the way that that looks. I do also have this speed at 730, so it's not like I have it going super fast. I actually, like I said, just recently changed my needle because it already broke twice. It is the 75 titanium. I do pick these up from Amazon and they're always linked down below if you guys are ever curious. These are actually ones that RICOMA does recommend for your machines. So that's majority of what my needles are. I do have a couple like silver ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Technically only 5 out of 15, so that's not really bad. I'm a little nervous sitting this close to the machine. I mean, it's not like it's gonna do anything, but I'm stopping it real quick. From the looks of it, so far it's running smooth. There are just a couple stragglers that I did have to clean up a little bit, but so far so good. I don't want to be like, you know, too hopeful over here because that's not the energy and the vibe that I'm giving off. But let's continue. I might not look it on camera, but I'm hot and sweaty because I have been so aggravated that I was doing laps around my parents' house and my mom's like, let's go for a walk. And I'm like, you bet, that's exactly what we're doing. So while this hat was finishing embroidering, I left because I was so stressed out. And I am happy to say that it worked. The hat actually embroidered really well. I was just doing a little bit of cleanup because the original hat that I have is technically black with like a yellow line through it. But when I do a yellow line with the white vinyl or with the white thread, you can't see it. So I ended up changing it to black and you can definitely see it way better. And honestly, I kind of like it because it will match like the back side of the hat. But here's the logo, as you guys see. And it came out really good. Obviously the circle is not supposed to be centered because her biggest thing is she wanted the name centered with the hat. So that's exactly what we did. I did show this to her. She gave me confirmation. Obviously the Claremont is a little hard to see just because it's more of the fabric and the like two-tone color than anything, but otherwise it did come out good. So now we can go ahead and move on to the next hat. And I can start to breathe a little bit better, so that's exciting. Breathing is exciting, but I still don't know if I'm gonna give up hats. It's a hard decision. I'm still waiting on Amazon too. I feel like all I ever do on every video is I'm waiting on somebody or something. But overall, another hat down. I still have, I think I only have one more hat of this. I ruined this one, so I'm gonna have to reorder her a new one, which is fine. I'll just probably find it on Amazon, replace it for her. And then after that, I will have to wait for Amazon because then we have to move into our black thread and I need that tool. I can't think. My brain is leaving the facility. Amazon arrived and I got my screws here. So I will link these down below for you guys just in case you need them. But the reason I bought these was specifically for my bobbin issue I was having. And when I was embroidering with my black thread, you kept seeing the bobbin pop through. So we need to sort that out. Personally, I've actually not messed with my bobbin too much since having my machine. Good news is this came in clutch, so I do recommend having that. That was awesome. They have 1.4, 2, 2.4, and 3. I used a 2mm flathead, so you can't, yeah, right there, that one for my bobbin. And the rocket is going up in 3 minutes. One of the perks of living in Florida is you do get to see that. So it's kind of cool. I filmed the rocket, didn't film the rocket because it's kind of cloudy out, so I really didn't know how much you were gonna see, but it was pretty cool. Never gets old, never gets old. But we are going to embroider my difficult hat. I did adjust my bobbin a little bit, so hopefully I adjusted it the correct way. We're gonna go ahead, run it. Typically I only run into the issue around the circle. Again, speed's still at 730. We're gonna, goodness. So from a quick glance, it actually did come out decent. The G came out pretty bad, I'm not gonna lie on that one. So you see the G, it also even has a little bit of white popping through, but otherwise it looks like the adjustment I made was a good one, so that's great. I don't know why that G came out looking like that though. That I don't like. So I'll have to correct my bobbin just a hair more. So we're heading in the right direction. So let's pull it out. Now, just so you guys know, or kind of show you what I'm doing. Basically, there's this like little tiny screw right there. And that has to be adjusted. depending on the size thread you're using, which is quite, and honestly, it has to be changed, like don't overdo it. Like just make minor adjustments as needed. Don't just like, whoop, like don't do that. It just little adjustments. What else was I gonna recommend? I don't think anything. Let's put that back in. Okay. Oh, what I was saying was I don't understand why it's happening, because it's on my thicker thread, not my thin thread, which normally with your thin thread you do have to adjust your bobbin, but this is on my thicker thread, so I don't know why that's happening. Hopefully you guys are learning valuable lessons and things to avoid. Yeah. Also, I'm not a fan of hats. Still not. I wanna become a hat lover when it comes to embroidery, but I'm not there yet. So hopefully you guys did enjoy watching my failures, but I do appreciate you guys for watching. If you could, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next crafting project. Bye everyone.